Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Arizona Cardinals, led by their new quarterback Sam Bradford, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 16 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Okay, Charles, the Vikings offensive starters, a former Ole Miss Rebel is a guy to watch, and that's Laquan Treadwell.
No doubt about it, and when you look at his speed, forget it. All right, just throw out that time stuff. Watch his play speed. He plays the game really fast and big and aggressively. They want to call him Megaquan. If he plays to that, he'll really help this Vikings team.
On second down, Cook. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea. And here is the Cardinal defense.
And that means cornerback Patrick Peterson, who has an effect on every game he plays, whether it's at the cornerback position or even as a punt returner. How about this? He's been in the Pro Bowl all 7 seasons that he's been in the NFL. This guy knows how to change a game, either with an interception or a return.
Play action now. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Pass interference, defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They get it to him running left. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off.
And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
One day.
Following the interception, Bradford. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Bradford. It's caught. Nelson. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Ability to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 16 carries, 55 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Johnson, and he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. A first down throw for Bradford. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Linval Joseph. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They go play action. Now Bradford. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man, it's Thielen. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 2nd down, Cousins again, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Cousins. And he rifles one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now let's look at David Johnson. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Bradford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Play action now. Bradford. And he's got Gresham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Bradford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now it's him carrying for Johnson. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Bradford on 2nd down. Screenplay, Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
That went into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Cousins on first down. Room to run past midfield. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Here's Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up second down. To the air again, it's Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Cousins again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. A first down throw for Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And he goes out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing is Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Now Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he powers his way up past the 30. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They go to Johnson again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
The Cardinals on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
From the gun, Bradford. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Andy Lee now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Here's Sherrills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On play action, Cousins. And that will be incomplete as well.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
motion. Bradford. And Gresham has it left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On third down, Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize the same sort of skills.
Sherrills to return it. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey. Four down.
Cousins now on second down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Weil now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return is Peterson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, third quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Early down stuff should put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second down, Bradford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Off the play fake, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete. And
it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
They've shown those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Second down, Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Vikings on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. So the scoring dried up here in the third. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They run again on first down. Cook. A beautiful fake. And he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Leave it, Ringo, 48.
From the gun, here's Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved. And in a 4-3 front, you've got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Working out of the gun, Bradford. And Nelson's got it here right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals turning that interception into a touchdown.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Marcus Golden in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins now. And he's going to be intercepted. intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 38. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Dawson tacks on the point after, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 27. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong place.
Yeah, he better figure whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, They feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Here's Johnson, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
There goes Larry Fitzgerald. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Operating from the gun, Bradford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle. Loosen.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On the ground, this is Johnson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Johnson on the counter. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cards, they're into the win column for the third time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.